Hello everyone, this is Daily Developing, and today we're going to go over an interview question that was asked by Microsoft. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So our question is, they're giving us an array of numbers and they're going to give us k. And so what we have to do is we have to take this array and generate multiple other arrays that are k length. All right, so in this case, case 3, so we have to take this first 3 numbers, then the second 3, then the third 3, and so on. And you see this list here. So these are all the numbers that could be generated from this array. These are all the lists that could be generated from this array. And each array has to be 3 numbers long, and they have to be consecutive, right? So for example, in this case, right, you can't just pick -1, 2, and 1 because they're not next to each other. You have to pick an array, right, of k numbers, but they all have to be next to each other. All right, so I encourage you guys to pause the video and try to solve it yourself, and only after you try to solve it yourself, come back to me. So if you haven't stopped the video yet, do so now, because now I'm going to jump right in and explain the answer. All right, so let's do it. Let's create an array and put this here, and also let's make k equal 3. Now let's create a function. Let's call it definition. And first, what I want to do is find medians. I need an array and k. And let's print the answer. All right, so now I want to also create a second function called get all the windows. So like we need a window of size k. Let's create that. Now let's make windows, get windows, array, and k. And then just return windows. Okay, so in here I want the list of these things. All right, so I pretty much want these things right here. I want to give it this array, give it the k, and then for it to return me all the windows right in between. So how are we going to do this? Well, first thing, let's just check. So if k is more than let's say the length of the array, right, then we should return just blank array, because there's return blank array, right? There isn't much we can do here. All right, now if it's not, then we can actually give it the answers. So let's do it. Let's make answers equals blank. All right, so let's think about it. How many arrays can be generated? Let's take this array right here, right? How many new arrays can be generated with this k number? And well, the answer is 5, right? You can generate first 3, right? The second one, the third one, fourth one, fifth one, or the sixth one, right? All right, so now let's look at the last window. All right, so 3, 3, 1. What is the starting index? So this is the last number, right? And so the starting index is 5. All right, we can count. Okay, this is the 5th one. All right, and where did we get this 5? And we got this 5 from length of array minus k. Right, that's minus k. Now, what we have to do though is we have to increase it by 1, right? Because we counted there are 6 arrays can be created. So what that means is let's create a for loop now. So for I in range from 0, so now we said this, right? So length of array minus k, but this will return, let's say 5, right? We know that it's actually 1 more though. So what we have to do here is plus 1. So length of array minus k will always return us one less possibility than we actually can. That's why we have to add that +1 at the end. All right, so now what we do is we have to pretty much create a window. So let's get a window, right, equals to array. So we start at I and we end at I plus k. Oops, I plus k. All right, and now let's do answers and window. Right now at the end, we just want to return the answers. All right, so currently if we run this, it should break down into smaller steps, right? So now if we check, we created 6 windows. All right, that's good. But in order to find a median, what we have to do is we have to sort each of these arrays, correct? So in order to do that, what we can do is we can write here sorted. And now if we run it, now as you see, all of these 6 windows are now sorted. Okay, now what we need to do is just loop through them and find a median of each of them. So how should we do this? To find a median of a list with odd numbers, right? We just have to divide by 2. But if, for example, a list has even numbers, right? Let's say the list has 6 numbers, then you have to take the middle 2 numbers and get the average of that. So let's say if length of array, right, is an odd number. Okay, so let's loop through them. Let's make for I in range from 0 to the length of array, length of window. That's what we want to loop through. And let's make it now median, right, equals to windows I. So let's take, now there are 6 windows. Let's pick which one, right? Let's just say the first one, okay? We take the first windows. Okay, we have to get the middle number. And to get the middle number, what we have to do is you have to take, okay, how many numbers are inside? Well, that's k number of numbers. And then /2. And by the way, if you don't know what / is it gets you an integer, right? So for example, 3, you know, if let's say this, right? 3 divided by 2, this will return 1.5. But if you do /, it's going to return 1. It's gonna return an integer and not a double. All right, now that we have a number, what we have to do is we can print, and you know what we ideally want to print is something like this, right? Something that goes like, all right, here's a median and here's a array of lists. But how can we how can we actually put this median inside of a string? And one of the functions that we could use is we can press F on the left side, and now what that enables us is we can open brackets and put median here. And instead of hard coding the array, what we have to put brackets next to each other and make windows I. This is the median, this windows. Okay, so now we have all the medians. So currently if we run this, it'll work. So we have to actually, there's a mistake here. It's not length of array, it's k. So if k is an odd number, right, then we have to do this. And also, let's get rid of this print statement because there's no way, right? There's no need for this. We are already printing it here. So right now, if we run this, we'll see this whole thing, right? So 5, 8, 8, 3, 3, 3. These are all the medians. But we're not done yet because this only works if k is an even number. If k is an odd number. If we make k even, right, it's not going to return anything because it can only do odd numbers, right? Now let's add that functionality. All right, so else, if k is an even number, let's again do 4. And now, in order for us to find a median, what we can do is median equals. So we have to take the middle 2 numbers. and then get the average of those. All right, so if you remember, right, so let's just take an array with 4 numbers in them, right? The indices are 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the list with 4 numbers, and what we have to do is we have to get the number with index 1 and number with index 2. These are the middle numbers, right? Now think about, let's say, an array that has 6 numbers in them. So it's going to be 4 and 5, right? All right, and so this array has 6 numbers in them, right? And so the center would be 2 and 3. So if you notice, right, we just have to take the last number, right? In this case, the last index. So last index is 5, right? 5 divided by 2 is 2. Well, that's why we have to do double slash, right? Because we don't want to get 2.5. 2, and then plus 1 would be 3. And so that's what we have to do. Let's create Windows I, and we need to get from this Windows I, right? So let's take that Windows, and now this middle number would be K minus 1, right? So for example, if it looks at 6 numbers, let's get this last index is 5, right? And divide this by 2. Okay, so now this is 2. Now we have to add Windows I, right? K minus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. Right, so this guy right here will return the second index, and this guy right here will return, and I think I forgot a square bracket. Okay. Yes. So there is this extra square bracket here we need to get rid of, and there is this extra parentheses that we have to get rid of. So now we got rid of the parentheses on the left side, and we have to add that parenthesis on the right side. Okay, so now this is the sum of the middle 2 numbers. Okay, so in this case, this will return 2 plus 3, right? So number with index 2 plus number with index 3. But now we have to get the average of them, so it's just divided by 2, right? And in this case, median can be a decimal, right? There's no reason to use double slash here. It's fine if it's a double. It's going to be more accurate. Okay, so now we have the median, and what we have to do is we will do the same exact thing. We just have to copy this. So now if we run this, right, or actually let's turn this into a 4 and run it, right? So both of them work, and we can use odd K can be odd, K can be even. This will work. This will list all of the numbers here, and it's going to get the medians, right? It's going to list all the arrays that can be formed, and then list the medians. So there you go. Now we are done with this problem. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please put thumbs up and subscribe, and see you next time.